Welcome to the sixth video in this series, Studying and Learning Skills in Medical Education. Focus will be about time management, stress regulation, and sustainable academic performance. My name is Mohamed Hassan Taha. I am the director of the Medical Education Center at the University of Sharjah, and I will be discussing with you these videos for undergraduate medical and dental students to support your learning process. So let us start by why learning skills matter in medical schools. As we discussed previously, medical education is the content dense and it's cumulative knowledge and high stakes for the performance because we cannot progress to the other level unless we succeed in this. So the academic difficulty rarely reflects the low ability of you as a student. It often reflects ineffective strategies. And the learning and studying strategies are the core professional competence that you should master. So our session today will explain how learning occurs in medical education, describe the relationship between time use, stress, and performance, and you will identify ineffective and effective strategy habits, and you will apply structure planning and prioritization tool, and you will be able to design a sustainable daily and weekly study plan for you. As you know, and many studies show that around 60 to 70% of medical students, they report moderate to severe stress. And today, skill to study smarter, manage stress, and build a sustainable habit is very important to overcome this stress. We developed this session to support you to overcome all these challenges. And I will explore with you the roadmap for this session. We'll start discussing the time management basics, time management and time stress loop. Then we'll explore myth, challenge, goal setting priorities, scheduling tool, stress and coping strategies, avoiding procrastinations, habit loop from Atomic Habit book. It's very, very important to say no and building a sustainable habit. So this will be the roadmap for this session. Let us define time management. Time management refers to the development of process and tools that increase efficiency and productivity. And when we say development of process and tools, we are referring to skills. So time management, it is a skills. There is no one born with these skills. So we develop these skills over the time. So it doesn't happen for everyone. It happens, this is a skills, and this skills we must, as far as we are mentioning, it is a skills that mean we should work on and that most people find to be a life challenge. So it's a tool and process to manage your time effectively. And time management, it is a trainable skills, not a common sense. So and it is strongly linked to stress and well-being. If we manage our time effectively, we will enjoy the study and we will have study life balance and we will be more productive. Please stop the video and ask this question. What one thing you do daily that save your time? What thing that you do daily and that make you very close from your dream or very close from your goal? In order to understand the magnitude of the problem of not paying attention to this time management, let us understand the time stress loop. We have positive loop in the right side and negative loop in the left side. Let us start with positive. For the positive loop, a good planning will help us to be focused. Being focused will be productive, and being productive will be less stress. On the other hand, poor planning, it will lead to stress, and stress will lead to procrastination, and it will end up with the burnout. So these things are linked to each other. And these are very important myths commonly heard by many people related to time management. The first one, I work better under pressure. This is not true. If I am passing, I must manage time well. Then this is not true. You can pass, you can be successful, but with stress. Time management take the fun out of my life. This is also not true, because while managing our time, we have to plan for fun. We have to plan for entertainment as part of uh, uh, day-to-day life. And the other myth is, no matter what I do, I will not have enough time, and this is not true. It's about time management and sometimes about how to say no. So there is a common challenge associated with the time management, including heavy workload, overcommitment sometimes. If we start doing procrastination, that means we'll end with a poor time management. We have many digital distractions, including the mobile, the notifications, the social media. Poor sleeping also affect. If we stay awake for late in the night, will affect the second day. And sometimes also perfectionism, being perfect. This is one of the challenge. The next slide, it will be about analysis. It's very important to analyze our time. And I'd like you to stop this video and to list how we spent yesterday in 4 categories. And we consider this as time audit. How many hours you spent for study? How many hours you spend for your personal entertainment or personal things that you do something that you enjoy? How many hours you spend in clinics or in clinical rotations? And how many hours you spend in the social media or in wasting time? Actually, this is a slide for everyone, and we can maybe replace clinical with other daily work activity or any official working hours or whatever. This figure is very important because it shows the importance of establishing balance between study, work, and life. And we should have work-study balance, life-study balance, and work-life balance. And this is very important thing that we have to consider. So we manage time because we are looking for better grades, better clinical skills, reduce stress, reduce burnout, establishing the balance that we show in the previous screen, and also to build professional resilience. And this is very important question that we should ask. And this question, which benefit matter most to you from good time management? Is it high grades, less stress, more sleep, or free time? I think all of them is very important. The four things. So now, after we discuss these issues, let us go to practical way. The first way to start is with establishing the goal. And this goal should be SMART, which is related to or acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we should combine academic, personal, and well-being goals because they are related to each other. So actually our behaviors is the visible things from our character, and these behaviors relate, and there is invisible part. Behavior is the iceberg, and the invisible part is our thoughts, belief, and values. And we should have a positive belief and values about the value of time, because time is a valuable resource. Anything is replaceable, but time is not replaceable. So I brought this slide from Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is related to time management matrix. And in our life, we have to to determine which is urgent and which is not urgent, and which is important and which is not important. I'd like to ask you a question to bring or to put the task that you are doing in your life in this 4 quadrant. For the items or for the tasks that are important and urgent, we have to manage them. For the tasks that are important and not urgent, and we have to focus them because our development will be from quadrant 2 for the things that are important and not urgent. For the tasks that are not important and urgent, we have to avoid them. And for the tasks and activities that are not important and not urgent, we have to limit them. For quadrant 1, which is related to urgent important tasks, we cannot overcome this issue sometimes. Maybe emergency, medical emergency, sometimes upcoming exams, and for not good preparation, it came here. Meaningful appointments and so on. But for the second part or second quadrant, which is related to focus, which is related to important, not urgent, we have to focus there. And this including strategy and planning, building exercise for well-being, applying or following a healthy lifestyle to reduce weight or to enhance your life and so on. Investing in yourself in personal growth, taking courses and so on. Pursuing degrees, this is very important. For the tasks that are quadrant 3, not important and urgent, we have to avoid them, such as emails, phones, messages, unimportant requests, popular activities, we have to avoid them. And for the last quadrant, for the tasks that are not urgent and not important, we have to limit them, such as limiting the distractions, switch off the mobile while studying, social media, watching TVs, and so on, surfing in the internet and browsing different websites and so on. So, successful people will be like this shape. They have a very large second quadrant, which is for the task that is important but not urgent, and they are focusing on that. Everyone has different curve, so we have to analyze this curve and to know at which time we are productive. And we can have like different scheduling tool, like planners, weekly planners, daily planners, to-do list, and time blocking, Pomodoros. I'm going to speak about this, but for to-do list is not enough for time management, and I'm going to explain why to-do list is not enough. One of the very common tools, time blocking, is Pomodoro technique. What is a Pomodoro technique? It is Italian word from tomato, and the inventor named the technique after a tomato-shaped timer he used. For this, this is the name of the Pomodoro technique, and we do it in steps. If you can see here, the first Pomodoro, we have to identify the task, and then we have to set the timer, let's say for maybe 25 minutes. Then we can take a break here. So in this 25 minutes, for example, working on this task without any distraction. And then we have to set the alarm, and the alarm will, when the alarm ring, we can stop for, let's say, for 5 minutes, take a break, maybe stretch your leg, drink water and so on. Then we can start the second Pomodoro. Then study for maybe 45 minutes, then take another break. The another break should be longer than the first one. Then we'll go to the third and so on. Then to the fourth and take a longer break. This is very important technique that we should follow for this study. If we don't apply this technique in a good way for the time management, we will end up with stress. And we have many stressor in our study or the field of medical education. Maybe because of overload, clinical uncertainty, financial problems, and the manifestation could be poor sleep, fatigue, anxiety, and low mood. And the well-being pillar for this, we have to have adequate time of sleep, nutrition, exercise, and social support. So these are the very important four pillars for well-being for you as students: adequate sleeping, nutrition, having exercise, and the social support. So would like you also to stop the video and to think about if you skip sleep for a deadline in the past month. And this should remind us always with uh, the time management matrix, the four quadrant of Stephen Covey. You can go back and look at the video and stop the video and take a screenshot for this quadrant and then work on it. In order to overcome stress, we need to develop the coping strategies for stress, and we need to use an evidence-based coping strategies, which we call it DEAL. And DEAL related to detect the source, evaluate, act, and then learn. Let us have a scenario. You feel overwhelmed because of an upcoming exam. And then for the DEAL, you notice the sign of the stress. Maybe a problem sleeping, difficulty to focus, and so on. Then you go for the E for DEAL, the second letter, evaluate. You have to ask yourself, what is the causing this stress? Is it the amount of the material, poor time management, or fear of failure? You will realize that it is mainly because you start late and don't have a clear study plan. So this for the evaluation. So you detect, you evaluate, and then you act. And act here related to you create a structured daily schedule, use active recall and spaced repetition. And please go to video 2 in this serial and to watch and to learn about spaced repetition. And reach out a friend maybe to review a difficult topic with you. You may practice relaxation techniques like sleeping, like deep breathing before starting the session. The last letter in DEAL is learn. After exam, you reflect and start earlier for the next time, and breaking tasks into smaller parts reduce stress and improve the recall. You decide to apply this approach in the future exam. This is very important strategy that you should follow as a coping strategy to overcome stress. It is DEAL strategy, and DEAL for detect, evaluate, act, and learn. The other source of strategy is procrastination. And we have to avoid procrastination. How to avoid it is to set a clear goal, create to-do list, use time management technique, understand procrastination trigger, break down task, set realistic deadline, eliminate distractions, reward yourself after completing any task. You have to visualize success, use a timer and seek support from your advisor and from your mentor. And it's very important to think about practical tool to overcome the procrastination. And I brought this from Brian Tracy book. One of the practical tool, is to eat the frog. And this actually methods proposed by Brian Tracy to increase productivity by identifying your most important task. Everyone should know what is your frog. Your frog, it is related to your most important deep work task of day that can get done in 1 to 4 hours. Then you have to think about focus on all attention in your frog as your first task of the day. Start your day without emails, without checking the phones, without meetings if you are working. So The benefit of eating the frog is you accomplish goals by completing tasks successfully because you are free of distractions. And this will take advantage of your most efficient working hours and end of the day. Always start your day with the deep work strategies, no distraction in the morning. So, if it is your job to eat the frog, best to do it first thing. If you have two frogs, eat the biggest one. This is very important thing that you should focus on, and very effective strategy. So you have to decide and define what's your frog. In this presentation, also we discussed that to-do list is not enough. Why? Because to-do list actually it helps us to remember the task, but on its own, it's not enough for effective time management. Why? Because listing is not enough. There is no prioritization. If we are doing to-do list without time allocation, is not enough. If we are doing to-do list without focusing on the deadline, this is not enough. And doing to-do list every day, we may end up with a risk of overwhelming ourselves with many tasks. And actually, with to-do list, there is a lack of structure. So besides to-do list, we have to do the time blocking. And in the slide here, as you can see in the calendars or whatever the tool, we have to think about the time blocking to assign tasks to a specific hour. Maybe is in our matrix, as we explained before, Stephen Covey matrix, importance versus urgency. We have to break the task into small action steps with deadlines and to combine with reflection of the day. Then we discuss these tools, and in order to change from this person with poor time management and poor study skills to this successful person, it is all about habit, how we build this habit effectively. And I'd like to recommend you reading this book or this summary of this book. And this book is about the atomic habit. And actually, there are 4 stages of the development of the habits. The first one is cue, craving, rewards, and response. Cue, it is related to the triggers that prompt desired behavior. These triggers could be positively or negatively. If we are holding our mobile and there is a notifications in red color, then this is a trigger. So, craving, to develop a strong desire for the reward that comes from this habit. Then following that, we'll do the response. Let joy of accomplishment fuel the desire to repeat the behavior. And then for the reward, break it down into manageable steps to create a system to support the progress. Let's have example related to study skills. For the cue, I prepare my place for the study. I bring my book, my laptop in the desk at 8 p.m. in the evening. So this becomes trigger that this is the time for the study. Now I have done with the cue. For the craving, you want the feeling of being prepared and confident before the exam. So this desire reduce the stress and help you to perform a good grades, high grades. As a response, you follow a focused Pomodoro technique, 45 hours study with no phone nearby. You break down tasks into smaller goals, like summarizing 1 lecture and then solving maybe 10 questions. So it's very important to break down this task. This is the response. Finally, the reward, you check the complete task of your list and allow yourself a short break for tea or stretching your leg muscles and so on. And the sense of progress and accomplishment make you feel more likely to repeat the study routine again. So we have the cue, craving, response, reward. Let us take another example with mobile as a distraction. If you put your mobile on silent or in another room before you study, and the craving here, you will replace air and check social media with desire to finish your task, so that you can say, I will read for 45 minutes and then checking my mobile after that. So this will decrease the distraction. And the response here, when distracted, write thoughts down instead of opening the app and so on. For the reward, after completing the Pomodoro, give yourself a planned 5 minutes to check your mobile or that, but don't exceed this 5 minutes. You have to stick to this. This example of redesigning the loop for better time management. Okay, so I will go through the 4 stages of habit loop: the cue, craving, response, and reward. You have to make it obvious for the trigger. Put a planner on a desk. Put the laptop. Put your book. Keep the mobile away. Make it attractive by pair study with coffee. I will study, then I will take a cup of coffee. I will after study I will do this. So it's very important to make it attractive. Make it easy as routine. You have to start with 2 micro habits to improve it. We cannot, if we have many negative habits, we cannot work on all of these negative habits. We can start with 1 or 2 over a week. Improve one habit per week. And finally, make it satisfying. Reward. We have to trick the trackers, and we have to celebrate. This is very important. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfaction. Make it obvious for the trigger, make it attractive, link it to something attractive, make it easy as routine, and make it satisfying as reward by tracker and by celebrate. One of the challenges of time management is also we feel guilty to say no. And I will show you the tips of saying no. You can say no in a different way, such I cannot do it right now, but I can fit it later. Or I am not the best qualified person for this job. How about asking this person? Or I just don't have any room in my schedule for the next few weeks. Or I cannot focus on it right now. Other example, I have made a commitment to complete my current job and task ahead of any others. Normally, I would say yes, but I had a few things come up unexpectedly, and I had to deal with them first. I would rather say no than end up doing a second-rate job for you. So it's very important because having tendency to say yes all the time, it will be very negative in supporting us to do our main job. I reached to the conclusion of this session, and I'd like to end up with the take-home message. Time and stress, they are connected loop. Either we can have a positive loop or a negative loop based on our behavior. We have to be smart and write our goals in SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. Remember always Covey matrix. And remember always the deal is very important. And the deal for coping strategies. Remember always the habit loop, and replace maladaptive coping with adaptive coping strategies, and build resilience through micro habit, and build resilience through saying no. Thank you so much for watching this video, and now we will move to the next videos of this series, which is related to presentation skills for undergraduate medical students.